for the plot, but we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And in a tropeに越されているので、私たちはそれらは全て分析します。It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting all the shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown. Breakdown.
Sporking's face when we saw Lucy. There we go.
That was just all butt.
If only
Sporking.
you could see it.
We are all real men of culture on this broadcast.
Yes.
I guess we
Welcome.
are.
Welcome to the Biggles Breakdown. I don't know if we're also live on
We are.
Sporking News Podcast. Look at that. We are live on Sporking News Podcast. Now, I don't know if it says the name. Does it just say live with restream March 17th?
It does.
Let's go.
It's like some weird generic thumbnail I had from like 5 years ago. So awesome.
All right. Look, I tried to change it. Hail. So we got the Sporking News Podcast. We got Happy St. Patty's Day from Bone. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Biggles Breakdown. If you guys don't know, I usually do a show with Scott randomly on a Thursday where we talk about anime. So I told him, since we couldn't do Thursday, that he comes over here where I have my co-hosts Crimson Law and Little Chad.
Hello.
Now we have
real quick. We are going to come back on Thursdays after Daredevil is over.
Okay,
so once Daredevil is over, we're going to start doing most likely every week.
Happy Monday. All right, so we will be back on Sporkings after Daredevil ends, so who knows how many episodes that is, and who knows how long till he actually likes me again. All right, but because we have Sporking on here, we're going to talk about an anime that I think only he has seen.
Yep.
Maybe a little Chad has seen it.
Not that one.
You haven't seen Life Lessons? Okay, I'm going to have Crimson help me with this one. Life Lessons with
Uramichi Onisan.
That's it.
Actually, it's Onisan.
Onisan. This
because those longer letters, the double vowels, are actually a completely different sentence. It's weird. It's weird. You can swap the word. You can confuse the word house and no in Japanese because they sound so similar. It's just how long you hold the I.
Really, I'm learning things today. That's awesome. Well, I'm telling you guys, it's hilarious. I've only watched.
It's not awesome. Don't give me that crap.
I think it's awesome that you know these things.
Just look at me and say you're retarded and autistic. Just say it like that, okay?
Biggles told me I'm not allowed to do that. No, just kidding. I actually do think that's cool. So what I find interesting with this one is the main character in the middle in blue is like just an ex-athlete we're seeing, like gymnast. Who's now like a chain smoker and just hates life. Like life is just horrible. And he's on this kid show and it just seeps through. Like he can't help himself. So he'll be all like, his voice goes all high and he's like, hey kids, what are we going to learn today? And they're like, about our futures and dreams. And it's like, you know what dreams are? Things that don't come true when you get older. Just know when you're older, they won't come true, children. And then he goes back to it. The guy with the green tie, he loves dirty jokes. He's really cornball. So like there's one episode where they're talking about like Shih Tzus. He's like, Shih Tzus, and like one-eyed worms. And then the girl on the right, she tried to be like an idol and like a backup singer and all these things. And she's now on a kid's show. So everybody on the show is just not wanting to be there. And it's
failure.
Oh, just failure in life. And it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious.
The Sporking News Podcast story.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe that's why I find pieces of my own life in it, children.
There you go.
I'm not old enough to feel that way yet.
You'll get there. You'll get
there.
And it's going to take another 20 years for that, I think.
Just wait for life to beat you down. It'll be fine.
So if you're in Sporking's channel, he's already telling you to go to my channel. Look at that.
Yeah. Yep.
So poor Sporking got we'll have to whenever someone comes on that pairs their channel, I'll have to set it up so it goes in with whatever thumbnail they want. So now that we talked about this anime that only Sporking has seen, Slender Dad says this anime is hilarious.
Slender Dad watches all the greats. He has taught me that slice of life and stuff like that is actually okay. Like I'm an isekai type of guy, but he really got me into all those. Him and the Bride of Slender Bride.
He's the one, but Biggles, he's the one who broke me and got me from being just mainly an isekai fantasy into slice of life and romance.
Yeah,
So it all goes back to him.
it all
He's
goes back to
patient
Slender.
zero,
Yes,
Yeah.
which I don't regret. I don't regret it.
We are now bludgeoning Biggles into romance.
Yeah, and speaking of a romance that they have bludgeoned me into, 100 girlfriends that really, 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 really love you.
Oh, I haven't
Well,
checked
this is
that out yet.
harem. This isn't really romance,
Ooh.
but I get where you're going.
It is definitely a romance because he romances all of them. Okay,
Oh,
he is the most romantic main character I have ever seen. Okay, this man, Rentaro, is a romance god. Okay, he romances all of them. Okay.
Well, no, he's not a romance god. He is the creation of a romance god's mistake.
That too.
I
I
got
was
rejected
watching
100
this show.
times.
He's like, I was watching this show, and it was so good that I gave you 100 soulmates by mistake.
And you have to
I'm-
date them all, otherwise they'll die.
Sporking, please tell me you've watched 100 Girlfriends.
I'm looking for it. I've seen it. I just haven't watched it yet because
no.
I am going to now. 100
You're going
Girlfriends.
to, because by
I'm
the
really
time you
hoping
get
for
to
season
the
3.
apocalypse episode,
Apocalypse.
you'll
Yeah.
no, it's
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
the
not. I don't.
apocalypse
We're not even to
episode.
talk more about it. I want Sporking to go into that one
Okay.
like untouched by spoilers because there's
How
no
far
way
is it in there?
it's in
the
season
second to
2.
last episode.
Oh,
right
there's
now.
there's more than one season. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
just-
they do a season 3 because the manga's been running strong, and I really want to see them do characters like Natty and Banchoji because
There's no way this thing can't be a merch money printing machine with the amount of best girls you're just producing in mass.
It's
it
hilarious.
is considering it's an 8.4 and the manga is fairly popular. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a season 3 at some point. But when they did season 1, it seems like it was one of those things that was confirmed for 2 seasons, kind of like Dandadan was right off the bat. So I'm hoping that it'll have caught on enough for people to actually give it a season 3 because it definitely deserves it. And some of my favorite characters would end up being in season 3.
This is hilarious. Like the newest girlfriend, Mimi or
Meme.
Meme.
I think they
literally,
pronounce it meme. Yeah, which is funny.
It depends on which one you're talking about, but it is meme, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a pun on the act 2 of disappearing.
Yeah, so she always throws up the doll misdirection and then disappears.
She has that substitution jutsu down pat.
Just, and I was like, "This is awesome." She's like doing magic. Sporking this show.
Yeah.
Like the first couple of episodes, I was like, "Man, I can only take so much, right?" And then there was this episode where Shizuka, who's this character who has to talk through her.
Oh,
like,
Shizu. Oh,
she has to talk through her
cuteness
phone, right?
incarnate.
And she gets stuck on like a little island at the pool and she can't swim and her battery died. So she just goes eek, and like Rentaro like hears her from like all the way on the other side of the thing, comes back from the dead, sprints across the pool to save Shizuka. And I was like, all right, I'm sold. I'm going to watch this now.
All right. I'll check it out.
I see
I
Slender saying in the chat that he prefers monogamy. Look, you've got to watch 100 Girlfriends. What Konosuba does for isekai, 100 Girlfriends does for harem anime in the tropes.
Really?
Yes,
Mhm.
it is a send up of the tropes of the genre, while at the same time being one of the best examples ever made of the genre. It's Konosuba level in that way. It's amazing.
While
To,
having Dragon Ball references. So
Yeah, to talk a little bit more about Biggles' best girl, I think the funniest part was when she tried to do the jump scare and she just walks up and is like, "Eh!" Yeah, everyone's just sitting there like staring at her for like 5 seconds, and then you get the reaction. It's also really funny that she is like the smallest one of the smallest ones there, yet she's one of the older characters in the cast. I think she's a second year.
I thought she was a third year.
No, I think Kusuri is a third year.
Okay. All right. Well, I just know she's older than the other ones, except for Hahari. And Maid.
Oh,
Maid.
that latest episode ooh, with
Oh my
Hari.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
When my favorite part was when they were describing like the alleged like stat line of Meme, and she was like me, she has G's, and then she got the drool going in her like the side of her mouth.
Karane poking fun at her, like, hey, looks like you're not the biggest. Right at the end, after all the teasing that episode.
I watched an episode of this. I watched the Christmas episode of it. Yeah, remember we talked about it. They want you.
Yeah,
They
the
think they made a wrong
depressing
turn.
ass Christmas episode of Toradora.
Yeah, I watched the depressing episode
I
without any context.
as opposed to like Dangers in My Heart, where the Christmas episode was epically awesome and romantic and full of positivity.
Positivity, gross.
But Scott,
Positivity.
Sporking, did you watch Dangers in My Heart?
It's on High Dive. It's a romance about a girl who loves to eat and some little goth, or not goth, emo edgelord.
You are so oversimplifying how amazingly epic that show is. It's
Are you
He's also
He
kind of inaccurate.
yeah.
I'm trying not to overhype it. You know,
It's
what is it on High Dive?
It's
The
it's
Dangers
got
in
two
My Heart.
Dangers in My Heart. It's got 2 seasons. Both have dubs, so you don't even have you can listen to
Love
it in English.
Okay.
And it's probably I think Slender described it as diabetes on the screen because it's so sweet.
All right, I'll check
Genuinely
it out.
like S tier romance.
It was the
The
first
Dangers
show
in My Heart. Okay.
Season 2 went wire to wire with top rating, and I
Oh,
think that's the first time that's ever happened on my anime list.
I think I started watching the first episode and just never went back, but it wasn't because I didn't like it. I just like something with a kid who doesn't want to be friends with anybody, and this one girl.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like an edgelord. So you've got to first by episode like the first 3 episodes kind of get it, because that's just the initial conceit, and then they move on from that fairly quick.
Okay.
But you have to do that to kind of set up the premise.
All right.
well, after the first episode, I was like, "Wait, is he a necro?" That's all I'll say. Because of what he was saying, I was like, "Man, it's about like a little edgelord necro." But that wasn't the case.
Okay.
He likes them alive.
All right. That's always positive.
Uh,
Are we ever going to get? I'm sorry to. I won't change the subject. I just want to know if anybody knows. Are we ever getting a second season to? Oh God, farming.
Which farming one?
Farming in another life. Yeah,
oh, you mean
Farming Life in Another
how to
Life.
have babies with every single villager?
Okay, first of all, it's not his fault they all ended up there. That's a harem and a half.
How to have over 182 kids?
Yeah, so in the manga, he pretty much has children with all of them.
Well, it's not his fault. He's awesome.
Well, it turns out that
Shinzo Abe would approve.
Yeah, when the god reincarnated him and he gave him that like, I'm going to give you the healthy life, and it also basically gave him unnaturally high libido / stamina. Everything a testosterone supplement ad tells you you'll get, he got. So that the girls in the manga basically are like he has to have a harem because he'll kill us if if any single one of us tries to make him monogamous. So we have to
because there's another show. there's another show where it's what is it? Oh God, the Great Cleric, I think it is, where he drinks like this um substance X, and it is something that will raise two out of the three of your natural like human base desires. So it'll either
Yeah,
make
but it
you
kills his libido.
it kills his libido. So I always thought the farming tool, like, because it's like supposedly would kill a normal human being because his life regenerates so fast. I thought that controlled like the level of his libido. You're telling me no, he's going to go off the
Nope.
hook.
No, he does. I mean, that's why in the first season he's already got one. He got the vampire late girl pregnant, and they had the baby, and that's just the first, as Beagle said, of
Okay.
hundreds.
I did not know that. Hey, for everybody on my channel, just make sure I put a link up there. You can go check it out over on Biggles channel because we're only going to run on mine for probably another 15 minutes. But we wanted to get people in and get them over to Biggles. So I see Soul Assassin, I see Zax
Oh dear
and lovely
God! Someone
Sherry and
mentioned the
everybody.
live action Claymore.
So
No,
please
Well,
jump over there.
see, Claymore can actually work as a live action though.
I don't trust it though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
well,
trust anyone to make. I wouldn't trust
who-
a Western studio
who-
to make a live action Claymore. No. Don't say it would work. No.
it has potential to work.
No.
Let's put it that way.
No.
But yes,
Make a
so
second season of the anime and leave it at that.
I rather see that because I got the whole box set. I've
Hey.
got the whole box set. Yeah, Claymore's awesome. Oh yeah, I see it right there. Let's see if we can maximize you. You guys see Claymore right next to Rem?
Oh, yeah.
I also have the Promised Neverland, and I still need to read that.
How do I-
That's the kind of like manga fan I am. Is I like just buy and buy and buy, and I like half the stuff I don't end up reading right away.
There we
All
go.
right, we switched sides. I didn't know.
Yeah,
How
I was
to,
like, what's going on?
I didn't know how to get it back to normal. So yeah, way to go, Crimson. Your face broke everything.
It tends to do that, just like many of my relationships.
They're making a God of
Nice.
War live action. I didn't even know that.
I guess. All right, let's see. Okay, so it decided to go to Shangri-La Frontier. Have you been watching this, Sporky?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's good, right?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
All right.
You know, and right now he's at like the hotel. That's the last episode.
He's at the
Yeah.
meetup. Yeah, so we're on the dub.
And he just had his run-in with Miss Goldberg.
Yeah.
See, there's part of me that wants to think that might not be his first encounter with her. It's particularly because it seems to line up kind of weirdly with the ninja girl in Shangri-La Frontier.
So I don't think that's because remember, we know the ninja girl said she accidentally made
Used her real face.
used her real face for the
Right.
character, and that's why she's using the mask, and they don't look alike. So
Oh, are you saying Meg is her? You thought Meg might have been her?
Meg Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Crimson was saying, but
Okay.
she's
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
no, because that's why I think I kind of feel like they put that line in there both to show why she was wearing the mask like Sunraku does, because she's like, oops, I accidentally made the character model me. I didn't mean to do that. And I can see why a girl in an online game would probably want to not
Yeah, right.
let the dudes know that's what she actually looks like.
Well, the funny thing about Pencilgon is like everybody's trying to match her look. And there was that one episode at the end where they do the Shangri-La like things like in the first season. They're
Mhm.
like, "Hey, you look like Tella." Oh, I look like me too. No, I look more like Tella. So everybody was trying to be like her, you know.
Yep.
I put this up here because I couldn't follow because they were going too fast, and I'm a slow reader. So we have this. I'm worried about how far they're going to get in the arc. I hope they conclude it in 3 episodes. I'm not getting it, given the manga will use Chinese names and not the Japanese ones. Let's see. This one went away. I have yet to see a live action version of an anime that does anything other than make me want to watch the anime.
Amen.
The only good live action adaptation that I've ever seen was the first season of One Piece live action. That was actually a good adaptation, but it changes a lot, and there are some issues I had with it in and of itself.
You know, I could say there's one I enjoyed, but it is definitely not better than the anime. Kingdom.
Yeah, that has a live action.
Yeah.
Huh.
It has,
So
or it's like movies. I think there's 3 movies. And it's all right. I think they get up to, oh God, when the general, the one, he dies. I think that's as far as they get.
Who
Uh,
the general what?
The general that goes when he laughs.
what's his name's uncle? Wong.
Dude, don't even.
Something Wong. But
Something
Will,
Wong.
this says
Something Wong.
Something
nice.
Wong.
My bad. Okay, so this says, will you get the English Kingdom manga? This is not possible. There's not an official release of the Kingdom.
They're actually doing an official release here soon.
Really?
Are we
Yes,
getting another?
Viz officially has licensed the manga for English localization.
About fucking time, but they kind of fuck up their.
Is that for the
translations
manga
all
or
time.
the anime?
The manga.
Manga.
The anime
So
still got a sub.
Right, it has a sub. You're right. It doesn't have a dub. That's
well, they went in season 3. They had all new voice actors, and they all said all the names different. And then
Yes.
they're like, you know what? Fuck this dub. We're going all sub. And then there's like 830 something chapters right now in the Kingdom manga.
yeah.
So
And then did you notice there's another show on Netflix called Kingdom? It's about like it's ancient China with zombies. Have you seen that one?
no, I don't have Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't watch live action stuff for the most part.
Yeah, it's different. It's not
We
bad,
all-
don't get me wrong, but Kingdom to me is like that anime is one of the best animes by far. Like by
Sporky
far.
Spot is taking over the chat.
You don't have to support me, support this guy.
So
What's your
thoughts
name
on
again?
the I don't know. I think it's Biggles Spork.
Yeah.
The ghastly abomination that was the Dragon Ball live action film.
Evolutions, the one that didn't know how to do a Kamehameha.
Oh,
At least Piccolo was somewhat the right color. That's all that matters. Okay, so
At least Piccolo was- yeah. They got Piccolo was a color, so good for you. You get you get a B for effort on that one, not an A B.
yeah. So
No, you get an E for effort with that movie. You get an E for effort.
I moved over to Biggles channel as per direction. Thank you, Slender.
See, Slender is Slender.
Slender actually likes me.
Man,
Well, we're going to be
it's funny.
shutting mine down in 8 minutes, guys. So we'll move over to Biggles in 8 minutes. So I put his
8
thing in my bob in the
minutes,
chat.
Your whole
Even,
life will change.
Whoa. Biggles thing is in the chat.
It's always in the
small.
chat.
You got to look.
His-
It's very
his-
small, but you'll find
The
it.
link.
Extra,
The link
extra,
is in the chat.
extra magnifying glass it. Okay. Right here. This is what he's talking about. Go to me. Was it Chad or Slender who's
Yeah, he's my co-host, so we're both Ascendant Art. Slender Dad is the co-host on that show.
Yeah. Go watch that show. Okay. He waited on the
But
chat
it's
like
funny when Sporkins bring up live action big and I think it was Biggles or Crimson who was like, oh, just watching anime. My consumption habits have changed basically to I would say 80-20 anime to live action at this point.
Same.
Because I've got so much variety. I actually just enjoy the shows, and even if I'm only going to get one season out of something, at least I can get one that's good and not a mystery box that ends up never having a second season.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. And you can, and the anime is so, especially now that Slender broke me of my basically just isekai and fantasy anime is where I kind of stayed.
Same here.
Once I was able to mix in like romance and rom-com in kind of ones as well, the plethora available every single season, like you don't need to really go beyond it, and there's enough. Like even this winter season, I would say is actually weaker than some of the last few for the number of shows that I'm like really wanting to watch. Like I know we've headhunted into another world. I started, but then I decided it
I
was
couldn't
kind of not
watch it.
my. So I'm waiting for it to have the dub so that in between seasons, like when we move from winter
Mhm.
to spring, I'll probably throw on when it's got the full dub available and just
It's
kind of
close.
just kind of
it's
let
2
that one go.
episodes behind, I think. But no, I think this last episode was great. Like the ending episode for this, I thought the ending was great.
I'm gonna have to watch it again because I'm the same. I tried to watch it and it was just not catching me. Like I just didn't feel it. But there's some great shows that came out. Not great, but ones that I'm fine. Like I tried Promise of a Wizard or Promise of Wizard,
That
and I
was so
just couldn't do
gay.
that. Oh
It was
god,
really
so gay.
It was
Thank
like
you.
it's not like reverse harems are already sort of getting kind of good.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And they're
this one
just
was
my-
so
like
femme.
legit leaning into like San
Yeah.
Francisco level. Like,
Yeah.
My gaydar was going off on that one, so I didn't watch
watched,
Headhunted
like-
or well, I did watch a couple episodes of Headhunted, and I decided I was going to wait until later.
Oh, Slender.
but the
Promise of Wizard,
Wizard.
I took one look at it and I was like, that seems like a gay
I
thing.
started the
Yeah,
first
so-
episode and it was the girl and it was full of cats and then there was
Yeah.
all those little femboys and I was like, oh no.
I mean, I can't lie. I made it through 1.5 and I was like, no, I just can't do it. But then you got stuff like the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another
Oh,
world.
that's-
It's
that was
funny as
good.
hell.
Yeah,
It's
that's great.
funny as hell. There's
Stop
others
doing
that I enjoy.
introductions. You're with me standing behind you.
People
Red,
blowing
Red
up.
Ranger's honestly all right. It isn't terrible. I'm
Oh,
still
I am
watching
enjoying
it.
it.
I
but
still
it's
haven't
like-
watched it.
I don't know. I feel like it burns its stick out pretty fucking quickly.
I think the enjoyment is directly proportional to how
Yes.
much you watched Power Rangers
Right.
and loved Power Rangers. Like
Right.
if you really like were knee deep into Power Rangers mania,
Or Voltron or
yeah.
anything like that. It totally grabs that.
have the Dino
whole
Therms
era.
connected.
It's so funny. But there's a couple others that are good. I left my A rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm pissed
um,
at this one right now.
Really?
They went into like a holding.
Well, not because I
pattern.
think the anime sucks. It's actually in my very good tier when I do my live streams.
It's just what happened.
It's just I'm finally really getting invested in the characters and stuff, and they hit me with a fucking 0.5 episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
I
was-
hate those.
it. Was
And I was
unnecessary.
about ready to punch a hole in some
I just
drywall after
skipped
that.
it.
I was like,
I just skipped it. I can never do a 0.5 episode, man. I
I
can
will
never do
say,
it.
at
I-
least
I-
in this show with the streaming element that they have, the
Yeah.
0.5 episode hit a little more natural in the way they did it than in a lot of other animes where it is just like a
recap.
recut. Because in this one, at least they had the ability to have the two little streaming hosts, and they
Mhm.
added in a couple like interview segments. I mean, it was clearly reused animation with just the
I watched
dub
2
over it.
minutes and decided I would prefer being waterboarded to watching another 0.5 episode.
But I do
Nuts.
really love that, especially the fact that it was Rain, our girl Rain, who was like, "I'm making the move, man."
Yeah. I
I'm
was
going
shocked by
for
that too. Um,
And then
I-
we had Little Miss Elf was number 2 on the list for
Yeah.
making the move.
So-
Like, hey, you can spoil me too, you know.
right. Joking. Now, did you guys check any of the others? Like, I thought this one was going to be kind of like on that Promise of a Wizard level, but I actually, and it's not because of
Are you
just
talking
the
about the flower
anime.
one?
No. I ended up I'm really enjoying it. Is Magic Maker, how to make magic in another world.
Magic
that
Maker?
one seems like I tried it. It seems like something
Yeah.
I would enjoy binging, but I
That
haven't
might
watched
be
it
it.
since episode 1.
Okay, that might
Because-
be it.
Oh,
It's
this is
basically,
definitely a
the
new-
one where the first episode is I'm isekai and potentially in this incestuous relationship with my sister.
Well, you find out later. It's not that. But yeah, there might be a little of that. Anyways, but
Hold on.
Look,
Let's
hold
rehash
on.
the same.
Well,
You find out later it's not that, but there might be a little of that.
well,
Look,
I don't wanna
to be
ruin it.
fair, that hasn't bothered me in the past because Mishoku Tensei doesn't bother me. Alia sometimes hides her feelings, and Russian didn't bother me. It's just that in those cases, I actually liked the story enough to not care.
Was
Okay,
Alia the
but-
one where the sister said it's only hot if they're blood related?
Yeah, it's only good if they're blood
Dude,
related.
the
yeah.
sister in that is hilarious, man.
Oh, she is. I did a
She
whole
is.
video just on her.
She is hilarious. But in this one, you find out like they may not actually be. There's none of that like sexual component yet, but
they
because
look
they're
like
young,
they're 3.
I was
but they're
about to say, I
not.
hope not. They're like 8 years old.
But they're not even. I don't even think they're actually related. I don't even think. We'll find out, but we haven't found out yet. But they drop hints.
It ain't Yasuda no Sora yet.
Yeah, no,
Oh
Alright.
no.
no!
So-
Yeah.
That was the one with the infamous like multi routes, right? And the last route was the sister.
You know,
right?
it's one of the worst, and I don't even know if they're brother sister, but it makes me sick. What is it? God, not Misfits of Magic School. Or is it Misfits of Magic? No,
Irregular.
it's Irregular. Yeah,
So they're like, he's adopted.
I
Yeah,
don't care.
Yeah.
It's still creepy.
It was so weird though. Yeah, I agree. But
It's
I
like,
really
it's
want to
okay.
talk about this.
He was
one, so-
adopted, but we've only grown up since we were babies together.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
every new porn.
Yeah, so thick thigh saves lives, as was said earlier.
That sounds like a muffler
So-
tape comment.
Yeah, it was. So
I know the guy.
So I rewatched this one, and I forgot Ian Sinclair is in it, and Ian Sinclair is going to be there next week or this weekend when I'm at the con. So I'm going to go meet him again, and this time he won't make fun of me for being Luck because I'm not going in cosplay. So I'll be able to talk to him without him making fun of me. And he's in this, and like he is the best when it comes to like over the top characters. So I've just been rewatching this, and it makes me like.
What is this one?
The legendary hero is dead. You know
Oh.
where he puts the stockings on the radishes because he loves
Yeah.
thighs.
Yes.
And then like Yuna's dad is like a titty man. And
Yeah.
he's like, I will forgive you if you leave the parish of thighs and join the titty temple. And it's ridiculous, over the top. It's really funny to me. And it makes me excited. And like some of these characters are so fucking ridiculous that I can't help. Like at the end of episode 4, you're like, what the fuck is going to happen? And then at 5, he's like, no. And you're like, oh, thank God. And like, it's just all over the place. But
Right. I'm gonna shut down. So I'm shutting down my stream.
All right.
So I'm gonna put
well, I think
Biggles,
I have to do it from here.
I'm gonna do Biggles link one more time, guys.
all right,
So
if
please
I-
come over. He needs
So
you.
once you put it in there, I'll click this button and it should stop your stream.
All right. Thanks for
automatically.
everybody for checking out our stream. Now go over to Biggles.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. Hopefully that works. That should cut Sporking's channel off without him having to click end. I think. I hope. Maybe. I've never done a pair. Okay. So have you seen I Fell in Love with an Okinawan Girl? But
No.
I just wish I know what she was saying. All right, Sporking, you need to watch this.
No. What's that on?
I don't know. I would hold that recommendation until the end of this season, especially after what they pulled in that last episode.
Well, at least
Unless-
she ran away from Teru, okay?
Unless Best Girl wins, it's not going to be a good one.
Yeah, look. My whole point is after everything they've done to basically emphasize this, like the chemistry between Kana and Teru, they've done nothing for Mina. All of a sudden, they have this confession. Yeah, fuck that. This is another like blue box level mistake here.
Well,
you
that's
didn't
why
pick
she
Best
ran
Girl.
away from him.
Yeah, but she clearly isn't like revolted by the idea.
It seemed like she kind of was.
No, at the very
That's why
end,
she
it looks like she doesn't know how to feel yet.
Yeah, well, I have faith in Kana. I do. I think he's going to realize it because he's going
If
to get
it's
turned.
not Kana, we riot. Otherwise, the series is funny.
Kana or Riot. I'll switch it from a masterpiece if Kana doesn't get it. But Kana is one of my favorite. And you know how Sporking Crimson was saying earlier, how you say a different name or like how
Yep.
long you hold it.
Yeah.
So in this one, it's Kana or Kana. One means I love you and one is her name. Well, they kept thinking they're like, oh no, you're saying it wrong. Like her name's
So it's like the syllable. If it's held longer, it means I
Yeah.
love you or love.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if it's held longer, that's her name. Just the
Okay.
normal kana is I love you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in Okinawan, anyways. And
Yes.
they were like, "Oh, look, your boyfriend loves you." And she's just like, "Kana, Kana," and like calling and like fucking up.
No, I think my favorite moment in this whole series was the crab stacking.
Oh yeah.
Just the little sister putting the sea creatures on Tara's shoulder, and at the very end, she pulls out that giant sea slug from the ocean.
Anyone who is a Higa in the show are awesome. And then the other characters are
Do
just
you
like,
not remember the part where like everyone in Okinawa is named Higa?
well, yeah, they get to be there too. They get to join in on the awesomeness, all right? But those are the best characters. My favorite, or one of my favorite characters, is the friend that wants to torment them. And I think she might murder Teru. We'll see. For her transgression against Kana. I wouldn't be surprised if she comes in there and just like kills him. I can see it happening.
You know, of all the series to like make a controversy this season that I found, this is the most bizarre one because someone decided to post about how it's just a gross fetish series and that it shouldn't exist.
And it's nothing like that.
It's nothing like that at all.
They even have an A&W.
Oh yeah, that was one thing I was surprised they actually showed the branding on was the A&W stand.
Yeah. But let's see what else is there. That's what is this one? Princess Lessons. All right, let's talk about this one. This one's a fucking awesome. I heard you have seen this one, Sporking.
What's that? Oh yeah, dude. I'm digging this one.
This is probably my favorite one of the season. From bureaucrat to villainess, Dad's been reincarnated. Now,
Biggles, real quick. When was the last season where an Otami villainous show wasn't your favorite of the season?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
What's the season that came out with
Whenever Kaiju number 8 was last on air.
Yeah.
Summer last
year. But wasn't that also when no, was the
I don't think there
I'm gonna
was
villainous
one
go down in history. Was that after?
No, that was
level 99, I think.
That was the most recent. 99 was that was the one with
So that one I think was concurrent with Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure level 99 was yeah.
No, that was I watched that before Kaiju number 8 came out. That was spring. That was spring.
Because I remember us talking about it a couple months ago. We were all laughing because like every season had a new one where the villainess either is going to survive this one or that one, and they're all great shows. I mean, I don't think I've watched one recent that I don't like.
Let's see. Fall.
High Dive had a really good one, I think, a couple seasons back too.
Fall had Alicia, so this one, Fall was definitely that one. Let's see, Summer was Kaiju, no matter what.
What was the one on High Dive? Because I'm remembering.
I like Slender Biggles has a type and it's Doms.
What?
Because of the villains.
Well, I mean, like, if we count Katarina, she's not a Dom.
Oh, you know what? I know which one you're talking about.
Most of the villains are just trying to like
the most heretical
survive.
Right? Yes. The one on High Dive, the most heretical last
that
boss.
That was a great
that was a good one. Let's see.
That was like a sweet one, It was nice. It was like a bit of slice of life.
Was Summer not Kaiju? Was that spring? Kaiju was spring. Okay, so
it was? Oh, I thought it was summer. Oh, as my Isekai friend, Lil Chad, did you like Loner Life in Another World?
Of course.
Yeah, it was great.
I loved how he kept referring to them just as like, oh,
yeah,
it's
volleyball player 1.
It's did he? So what did they? I think in the anime they changed it, but in the manga, like for the popular girls, it was bitch. It was like it was head bitch, bitch
Yeah,
one, bitch two.
he called them gals in the
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
anime, it turned to gal, head gal, and then all the nerds, they get the name like
Yeah.
you're just you're just nerd one, nerd two.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so spring didn't have an Otome one. So Kaiju happened. Summer didn't have one. Winter
They
was
were-
99.
I
Winter
think
was
they
level
were
99.
worried. They were worried about putting out Kaiju number 8 and Villainous one because they were worried about your rating.
Yeah, I believe it. But
no,
so,
his head would explode, and then no one else would watch
So-
what Tome gave Isekai.
so level 99 actually lost out to the wrong way to use healing magic.
Oh, hell
the-
yeah. That was a great anime.
But it was second
Hold
in
on,
that season.
hold on. Let's get back to Slender's point because what's the really badass female and wrong way to use healing
Oh
magic?
my God,
She
yeah.
would definitely be a dom.
Rose.
Yeah.
But
She's definitely a
she's
dom.
but no, the one
Biggles
I
likes women who can kick his ass.
Yeah, he's into that. I'm going to
But-
make an anime about him.
but hold on. The one I like in healing magic the most is Kami, what's her name?
Yeah, you could try to tell us that. But
Yeah, you
Sure.
try to tell us that,
Sure.
but
she's
you're
my favorite though. She's
No,
my
yeah,
favorite.
she is.
oh, I
Yeah,
trust
oh,
me.
yeah.
She's my favorite. Where's the green? Oh, there. Don't
All right,
beat me
okay,
up.
Rose.
Yeah.
Biggles,
They
Biggles,
could both beat
ReZero.
his ass.
Who is best girl?
ReZero, who is best girl?
Sorry.
He's gonna say Priscilla. He has to. That's
Mhm.
clearly Biggles' number one seed.
No, it's fucking Rem. Come on.
She can kick
That's-
your ass. Point proven.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, if he had, it would have been blatant if he had done Priscilla, but yeah.
That's
I mean-
so funny.
No, it's
'Cause,
Rem.
Crimson,
What's
are
my
you the one who
character-
calls
who's my
Priscilla
character?
Dom Mommy?
That's what the internet calls her.
And she earned it, man.
And he loves it.
When she changed. Oh, that's right. You haven't watched this season of ReZero yet.
No, I
have you?
haven't. I'm going to start watching it tomorrow.
Also, Rem is my favorite voice actress too. So it's like there's no beating Rem, no matter what.
Amelia is actually. She gets all the hate because of anime onlys and season 1, and they don't watch any of the background stuff, and they never want to give Amelia any kind of credit because everybody got so sucked in to the her versus Rem. But Amelia is actually probably a better waifu.
You
than
can't go wrong with
I'm-
any of
I'm
the,
gonna get
like,
killed
the
on
main...
internet for saying that too.
No,
Well,
I
I
see
agree.
what you're
anyone who's
saying.
actually like into ReZero would probably agree with you. What I
Yeah.
was gonna say is you can't really go wrong with any of the main cast female characters because they're all
Don't you
really,
know?
really well done.
I mean, and
Um,
for people who aren't anime only, actually, my secret best girl is also a scorpion. So just saying.
Ah, yes, she's great. But in that same arc, we also get a lot of stuff for Anastasia. So
Yes, I mean the arc. I believe that should be right. That next season should hopefully be like a 2-core anime season just for that arc.
I
Hopefully.
really, really, really just want to see Murder as a Habit get animated. That chapter is insane.
Anastasia can't be best girl because the voice actress who plays Morgana is it. And every time I hear her talk, I'm just like, shut up, Morgana! Because I play Persona 5 and Morgana would be like, you can't go outside. And I'd be like, no, I want to fucking go outside. And
Hey,
anytime she voices a
Silence,
character, I'm just
wench.
instantly-
Silence,
I'm
wench.
just instantly, shut up, Morgana.
I like Splendor over here with Ram as best girl, like coming out
Again,
coming out
Arc
of left
6.
field. Yeah.
Look, Arc 5 and Arc 6 single-handedly changed my opinion of both Priscilla and Rom.
Yeah, and
There you go.
Arc 6 is chef as great as ReZero is already. I think, and Crimson probably agrees too from what he's saying. Arc 6 is probably the pinnacle of ReZero as it comes. I mean, that whole thing. When you also, I mean, we're gonna deal with gluttony and the impacts of that. I mean, Julius, which we'll get in. Once you finish this season of the anime, I think we'll probably put him into that scenario depending on where they leave off. I'm pretty sure it'll be there. I can't. All right, it's been a while since I read it, Crimson. It should be by the end of Arc 5 where Julius gets into his situation, right?
I think
Did
he
Crimson
froze.
like goes
He
for? Oh, he
froze.
froze. Dang it!
Oh,
Because he's the
draw a
only other
penis
one
on
I
his
think
head.
who's read the stuff. So,
And
but
we're
man,
still talking about ReZero.
Yeah.
So
yes,
arc 6 is chapter or season 3.
no, season 3 is Arc 5.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So far, all season 3 is just Arc 5,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
and it has been amazing. Like the last episode,
Damn. All right. I'm
Sporking.
so far behind, dude.
Yeah,
We
you just gotta watch it.
the white whale stuff with Wilhelm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You get the payoff of that in this.
Oh, really?
Like you think you got the payoff, but you get because Arc 5 introduces Wilhelm's son, who is Reinhardt's dad,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it turns out that he's kind of a really piece of shit dude,
Probably.
and
Yeah.
so there's a lot of family dynamic issues in play, and then you get a
Okay.
payoff that is epic.
All right. I can't wait now.
And I'm dub only on this, and they're yelling at me because I'm behind.
Well, you know me, if I started something dub, like I've been doing a lot of sub, but when I start
Okay,
something
so
dub, I keep dub.
what were you
Even
saying,
as-
little Chad?
I was saying, if I remember right, by the end of Arc 5, Julius should be in the situation that he gets in, setting him up for Arc 6.
Yeah, that part's going to come from according to the leaks from like Witch Cult translation. That part's actually coming next episode. Like what happens there, and then
I
they're
mean,
going to wrap it up with the.
they telegraphed it pretty early in this season when they made the point of when you fight Gluttony, make sure you do a certain thing.
And if people aren't picking up on that foreshadowing, as far as like Al goes, that's they basically slapped you in the face with it.
I can't wait. I got to catch up.
Oh, Al is so awesome in this season too.
All right.
Oh, you're so ugly. You're terrible.
I just like how he's like he does the whole like apology thing like a schoolgirl, and then proceeds to murder her again.
Oh, by the way, this is important, Sporking, because it's
Yep.
not really laid out in the anime at all.
Okay.
I think they might do it as a throwaway kind of in season 3, but
Mhm.
you know the Al, the one who wears the knight's helmet and works
Yo,
for
yeah.
Priscilla.
Yep.
He's from Japan as well.
Oh,
Yeah, it should have been well established at this point.
but they
but
haven't established that.
no,
yet, right?
because
They cut it
ReZero,
from season one.
they cut it from season 1.
Okay, because I was gonna say I did not know that. I
Yeah,
thought I
so-
missed something there.
and they don't dive into it too much even in the season 3 when they kind of like acknowledge it.
Hmm.
I think the only time it was really explicitly said in a ReZero thing was some of
Isekai
those
Quartet.
it was in the those little chibi shorts
time.
they did for the break time ones, which were for I think the DVDs or Blu-ray sets. And
Okay.
it's such a big thing because it's so important, and they don't.
That makes that would be a big deal. Now, does he have the same ability?
He has capabilities that
Okay.
they have
All right,
not
leave it at
gone
that.
into really much in the anime.
You don't look in the novels. They actually do hit you with that in Arc 5, but
Okay.
from what I've heard is they are not actually going to tell you what he's capable of.
Yeah, I think they're because
Will
ReZero's
we?
popular enough.
If you paid attention in this season, you can kind of infer what he's doing,
Okay.
but it doesn't tell you outright, and I think that's particularly because going forward, he's an important character.
Okay.
He hasn't fought anybody yet in the dub, I don't think.
Yeah, you haven't
Oh.
seen him fighting yet because if you're
So-
watching dub only.
So I don't know if I got any of the hints other than they're like, oh, this looks like from where I'm from, like when they had the old Eastern style architecture. But yeah, ReZero's awesome.
Can I ask you a question about a different show? Because I've been wondering. We haven't talked about it, but we talked about it pre it starting. How have you felt about the receptionist? I may be a guild receptionist.
I
Have you
love this
enjoyed it?
show. I love this show.
It's
Absolutely.
she is. It took me like an episode or two, but I love when she gets all like, it's all about overtime. But like she gets that deep, like, I'll fucking kill you, like voice.
So you like women who can kick your ass too?
A little bit,
So,
yeah.
there
Yeah,
you go.
Have you met Mrs. Spork?
I like,
No.
yeah, we're and
I've only
Biggles,
just
this
met
is
you.
Yeah, that's true.
Biggles, this
We've
is
been
one
on
of your
once before.
favorite shows this season too, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the theme continues, Crimson.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
want-
Biggles is a definite. I like, brown hair, short.
when you
dress,
go to
that kind of thing.
conventions, you're not one of the good dudes having the girls step on them, are you?
See,
He's
see,
like,
No.
my type is pretty much the Ana Yamada type.
Oh yeah, I
The
like.
one who will eat you.
Well,
So
she's
your
super-
favorite girl is probably Kuramari. What's her name? From the middle schooler in 100 Girlfriends. The
The one who gets hangry.
hangry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kudumi?
Yeah. Her.
No.
No, but she
No.
was eating.
No, you haven't. No, that's not the part that I like. You haven't met the character who is my favorite.
Oh, by the way, Crimson, you watched that last episode, right? Yeah,
Of
with 100
what?
Girlfriends.
Oh,
The hide
yeah.
and seek one.
I was amazed that they
Sure,
still
yes.
did another thing on a mainstream anime when they were hiding under the cafeteria table.
Yes, that's the one I was talking about. The
Yeah.
Hahari moment that I
Yeah.
thought was absolutely hilarious.
Biggles, did you watch the episode?
Yeah.
You remember when middle schooler got a little too hungry while they were under the cafeteria table?
Yeah. That's
she-
what I
she-
just made a
yeah.
comment on that.
Yeah, I just well, she was just like nom nom.
No. So
And
fucking
then
crazy,
her
dude.
Harari was like, "It's happening! It's finally happening!"
The true love story in that show is Hakari and Karane. Oh, her thighs. But back to Guild Receptionist. I love this anime. I can't say any more.
Are you
about
still
how
waiting
much-
for the dub, or are you caught up on it?
No, I watch this every week, and then I go and watch the dub right after.
So my favorite part from this
Same.
tail ends of the season arc is when she thought she would get her magic method to not have overtime.
Oh,
Yeah.
have
And
overtime
she's
from
like,
the
and
ladies.
she
just a
meets the greatest receptionist who's ever been, and she's like, the method to get around overtime is to work nights and weekends and holidays.
and
and
work
she's just like-
120 hours a week.
Oh my god, she's just a workaholic, and she was so like the disappointment that is
That was-
palpable.
That part was funny. I think my favorite though has been the total tsundere moments in the last couple of episodes.
Where-
Where she was like, she gets upset with him for not pissing her off.
Right, because he's
Yeah.
doing like that rehab of his.
It's Operation
image.
Rehab My
Yeah.
Image.
His
And she's,
image
like, so
improvement
angry.
campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
image
gonna
improvement.
wave and yell out my name, and then he just walks away. He didn't yell out my name. You
It
know,
reminds me of that
Playing
the
hard to
romance
get.
anime from like 2-3 years back, where it was the dude as the soccer ball goes by his head and he stops being obsessed with the girl, and so instead of like asking her out every day, he just gives up. And
Yeah.
she starts getting really mad that because for years she would yell and be like, leave me alone. Then
Yeah.
he leaves her alone, and she's like, what's going on, man? Why aren't you doing this anymore?
Yeah.
Like, you had grown on me. You'd become part of like my routine.
But what's sweet about it is you see like how she has become who she is. The death of the adventurer when she was little, and like realizing that that's not the way to go. Like he told her to have a stable job so you don't have to do this, and then she just is so focused on not working overtime to have peace and quiet by herself that this guy comes in that every other woman loves. Like every other woman would die to date him. And he only has eyes for her. And then he does this rehabilitation thing. And it's just hilarious to see how she's like telling him not to do it because I miss him doing it. Like it's just a very sweet slice of life split into it. It's
and
really
it's-
sweet.
And it's so awesome because he literally told her, I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
to try to get my image so that you'll like me more. So she knows exactly what he's doing and that
Right.
he's doing it for her, and she's
Yeah.
still getting mad about it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why she told him she didn't like it. So
he
wait-
freaked out too. That was-
later, Slender.
And what's crazy later, man, and what's crazy is that like also the storyline is so good. Like this idea of secret dungeons, and there's a somebody in the guild that's most likely giving out this information, and is it the guild master? We hope it's not the guild master. And then you get this presence at the end of this last episode that, I mean, the guy's the same size and looks almost, except for the mask on, looks like it could be the guild master. Like, there's a really good story going on, but it's also like this slice of life over here that's like the main story. It's
Yeah,
kind of weird.
and you get the like little background about his daughter, his adopted daughter, who
Yeah, yeah,
allegedly
yeah.
like, and that maybe he, they're trying to imply that he wants to get a Dia power to, because his power is
Bring her
time
back.
based.
Right.
So if he gets like a god tier variation of that, he
Yes.
could think that he could maybe wind back time. But
Right. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Like
it
it
reminds
Well,
me almost of the
I think it's more akin to like his reasoning would be the dark gods seem to have basically been made out of other people.
Yeah.
So it could be he wants the core specifically because that's his method of resurrecting his adopted
Yeah,
daughter.
I thought
But
that
I feel
too.
like that is such a bait and switch, to be
Yeah,
entirely honest.
easily.
All the
Easily.
information points way too obviously to him, and I'm
Right.
feeling like that just seems like it's too easy a conclusion. I
Right.
won't rule it
I
out
agree.
entirely, but I feel like I don't know. I'd almost be let down if it actually
I
happened.
think I'm 90% sure if they go that route, I'm gonna be upset. Like I feel like they have to bait and switch us on that because they made it so obvious. But with little Chad, it does make such absolute sense that if his Dia power is, because his, was it Sigma or not Sigma?
Surgoth,
Sigris.
Yeah,
Sigurd, whatever however they pronounce it.
Sigrith, that power is time, so he would probably upgrade that to being able maybe to control time completely where he can go back in time. So it makes sense that it would be him. And if it goes that route, I'd be a little disappointed, but I'm really hoping that we find out like it's someone that we never expected, you know, um, another receptionist that we got to know or something, something crazy.
By the way, how awesome is it when they were in I guess the headquarters like dormitory, which is the haunted place, and she's in there with Lily,
Yeah, she's telling her not
Yeah.
to go to sleep.
no, and the other receptionist, when she's asking like, who do you have a crush on, she starts talking about the executioner.
Oh,
And
right.
she looks right over and she's like, she doesn't know, does she? And she's like, no, don't tell her, please. Like,
She has the doll. She made a
she has
doll.
like
of him.
she has a doll.
So remember when the guy that Alina punched that was possessed by the ghost and punched him? Did you think when he was hitting on her earlier before Jade stepped in that she was about to like pull out the hammer and fucking hit him?
She might have. She might have, because he was getting aggressive. Like, yeah, that was a perfect moment. But the ghost part is something that confused me right there. So, is there an actual ghost in a black hood, or is there like a beast of some sort, or is it this spy we're worried about? Like, are these stories just kind of blending together? Like that ghost, I wasn't expecting there to actually be something that possessed somebody in that place. You know what I mean?
I think it's a smokescreen, just like all
Is
the information pointing to the guild master.
Right. Do you think someone actually put that into him? Some type of creature that can possess people? Because
Well,
it's just weird it came up. I just
It
assumed
used to
that
be
was
a dungeon, and they kept hinting to ghosts for the last like episode and a half.
right.
So I
I
figured
was just,
something would happen.
yeah, I know. I just didn't really think it would be an actual ghost. You know what? I don't know. But it's one of the better shows that's come out in a while, in the last year. It's probably trying to think. Last year has been really good for new animes. I mean, you got Kaiju, the
Healing
healer
Hour.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, you got quite a few that came out that were really good, but it's in the top 10 easily.
So another one that came out last year that has a season 2 this year that's fucking amazing.
Solo leveling.
So
Oh,
well
yeah,
done.
dude.
I mean, it's still
Brilliant.
it's the fight scenes are great and everything. I still
Yep.
think they speed ran, and
Yes.
because we talked about this the last time, they speed ran the actual combat on
Growth.
the island.
Oh,
They,
yeah.
they shortchanged all of the Japanese, S rank hunters. Like they didn't
died
even
so
give them,
easily.
as far as I can tell, they didn't even give them lines. Like For what I'm
Showed
talking
him
for
die.
Bravo, Charlie, Delta, like all of the other teams that just got massacred.
Right. We got
They-
to Charlie was one that they talked. They were the first ones to get killed, right?
Yeah, and that was where you get the introduction where the girl is talking, and then all of a sudden her head's just rolling on the ground.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, in the manhwa, she actually has a little bit of a backstory before this, and that's one of the big things that I have to say tonight is I honestly didn't care much for this latest episode.
Hmm.
That's because there was no Jinwoo.
Well, yeah, that's effectively the point. What it boils down to, because Jinwoo is the only character I really care about. Chahain is interesting, but literally everyone else on the island has either just sat in their office brooding or is completely new to the scene.
Hmm.
And if they had
So
given this is where I was complaining. Like if they went to the manhwa and actually gave them some of the moments and build up that they had in that for those characters, there would have been more oh shit when the Japanese teams are getting massacred.
Right.
I mean, even when he comes up on I forget the like head Japanese
Yeah.
rank,
Gong or
Go.
whatever,
Go.
and he's giving off the aura, and he's like, where have I sensed this? But like, there's even he's had the most
Right.
character time of the Japanese S ranks, and even he's gonna get nuked. Everybody knows it,
Right.
and no one's gonna care because they really still didn't even. He had a sparring match with Jinwoo, and so we have a little bit of an idea that he's got capability. It's like wrestling, right? When you're trying to get somebody over and
Yeah.
him up so that he can take on Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So you throw him out there and you have him beat Macho Man to make sure that people believe that he's capable of taking on Hulk. In this case, you're doing that, but you're not giving him any speaking. He's like Goldberg at this point, and he's not getting any build up. He's just
No, that's a good point, man. I didn't think about that.
Plus, I will add to that. I feel like this is probably one of the more poorly animated episodes of the series, which is one of Solo Leveling's big draws is the way its combat looks.
Yeah.
There are some good animation bits that I made a post about this on Twitter. Like when Shaheen brings down the Ant Queen, that was a good sequence, but otherwise it felt really, really generic. So that on top of the fact that Barrow's beating down a bunch of characters I couldn't give a fuck about for the most part. It really just it doesn't feel as satisfying as it did in the manhwa. Because when I was reading the manhwa, like I read that whole thing and was like, oh wow, this is okay. Interesting. Things are some strange things are happening, and then it actually it was more satisfying the build up because we got character moments. There wasn't like the issue of animation and all that. It was more so based on its writing, and it actually delivered what I was looking for. In this, it's basically just Beru, to use the young people speak, aura farming the whole time on characters who are effectively fodder.
Like in the manhwa, especially our ice powered S rank from Japan, had a little like the way he went out was much better, because there was more build up, and like there was real like fear for the fact that when Benru was going through and like getting through his ice and getting through and to kill him, right? There's instead of where you see where in the anime they just have the ice go up, they kind of have the sort of image of Benru in the ice, and then they cut away. And then when you come back, it's them finding his mangled face. And clearly, I think they're doing it because over the 12 episode season they're doing, or 13, whatever number of episodes.
Yeah, there's just not enough episodes. I'm thinking
They don't have enough episodes, so they have to speed run. Like when they decided to do the entire demon, what is it, Demon Castle
Tower,
Demon Tower arc and Genju Island arc in one
that was
season.
stupid, huh?
That was gonna be a little tight. And then what they're clearly building up for the budget for these episodes, the spend is going to be on the combat sequence between Jinwoo and Beru, which is going to be great. I think that's where they're going to. What's
the name of the ant guy?
The Ant King. Beru. Like that's the name he gets as a shadow.
That's the name he gets, yeah.
But right now he's effectively Ant King. Yeah. So
okay.
Let's just call him Meruem because we can.
Yeah.
And can I ask a level 1 question? you guys are saying manhwa. Is that
Korean.
that's
It's a
the
Korean
Korean
manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Korean
Korean,
comics is manhwa.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
okay.
manhwa. Yeah.
I
So
appreciate that. I didn't want to sound dumb
one
if
of
I
the
didn't
main
understand.
differences is they tend to always be illustrated full color.
Oh,
And
really? I didn't know
and
that.
they also tend to, instead of pages, they'll be there, especially most of them are web, and
Mhm.
they'll go straight to,
Scroll
they'll like
down.
be a
Just a
scroll up
random
and down.
example here because I happen to have it on hand.
Oh, blow them up.
Yeah. That's some
No,
solo
no, blow
leveling.
that Crimson Man up.
All right, I'll blow him up, and then I'll
Blow
fucking
him.
have to. Whoa,
Whoa, whoa, hey, 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 hey.
What?
Yeah,
Gobble,
so
gobble.
effectively, this is what you're looking at whenever you
Oh,
open
wow.
up a volume of
That's beautiful.
solo leveling. Unfortunately, you're only getting it 4 chapters at a time with the volumes.
It's so deep. Deep.
I tried to pick a page that wasn't too spoilery because this is after Jeju.
Yeah.
So you only get like 4 chapters, and I'm pretty sure there is like 176 chapters to this series.
So why rush it? Why do this to us? Like Solo
So
Leveling
solo
season 1
leveling.
was so good
So
that
here's
you
what's going to
didn't have
happen.
to.
Sporting the series is done, right? It's full.
Yeah.
It's got a beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
Now they've done a spin-off sequel, or to it,
Ragnarok.
but solo leveling's done. So I think they have a plan to get this done within probably 4 seasons.
That
4
sucks.
anime seasons.
Why? Why is it with anime they rush? Like don't you want longevity? Like I'm not talking like One Piece or
I
like
don't know.
that long, but can you give us
I don't
like
know.
this
It's
is
just
Game
at
of
the
Thrones
pace
all
they're
of a
going.
sudden.
Crimson, would you agree at the pace they're going, about 4 seasons is what they would do to have to basically finish it?
No.
You think it'd be longer?
I think it would be longer.
But still rushed.
Kind of, yeah, but here's the thing is I can do a whole breakdown on this, but I'll try and just keep it to the bullet points. Effectively, post COVID, a lot of people came into the anime community who just haven't
That was
been
me.
good. Who not particularly you, because you actually seem to be more a fan of a wider genre.
Oh, okay.
The people I'm talking about are shonen fans who have a problem with anything that isn't a mainstream shonen, and they have short attention spans, and they only care about flashing lights and hype action. These are the people who made the family reunion episode of Solo Leveling its most disliked episode. I would
Even though
argue
it was
that that's
probably
my
the
favorite
best episode.
I was about to say that's my favorite episode of the whole series so far, and that
The
was the most
same
disliked.
people who are downvoting the last episode of ReZero because they're a-holes.
No, the people downvoting that are light novel elitists who are pissed that they excluded the sword god from the chapter.
Whatever. Yeah.
So you're saying the one where his mother comes back to life, family reunion?
Effectively the payoff for what
For
he's
his
been
mom,
doing
like all he's done, and they thought that
for
was
the entire
shitty?
first season and a half
Yeah.
of what his entire
Yeah.
work
So
ethic has been for.
stupid.
Yep.
Yes.
They're
No,
upset that
that's
payoff.
that's what a lot of post-COVID people who got into anime.
Okay, I'm not one
have
of them, I
become.
guess. Yeah.
No, I actually only got into anime shortly before COVID, like 2018.
Yeah.
And then I got really autistic about it, and now it's basically all I watch.
Well, that's my wife. My wife laughs at me because there's maybe like 2 shows like a year I watch that aren't what she says cartoons, because I've come to love this media, this type of storytelling,
But
because there's so many different ways of telling really cool and exciting stories. I just don't understand.
Effectively the rush is because well, one, these studios are trying to get to like really big moments because that's how they're monetized. The monetization structure in anime is awful. It's terrible. In the publishers of the series who actually sell the books, they make most of the money off of it, and animation studios get screwed. But there's also the issue of a large section of the Western fandom just pushes for action and hype and stuff. And they don't actually really care much about the story. That's why you
Like
see a lot
Free
of,
Run, they wouldn't watch Free Run because that whole
Well,
show is walking and talking.
They don't like
Surprisingly
Free
enough-
because it's racist.
I was about
Yeah.
to say, surprisingly enough, Free Run's an incredibly popular anime.
Really?
But
Because I
yes,
love it.
if you go on my anime list, it should still be the #1 rated anime on this.
because it's amazing. I mean, it is.
It is. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Mm.
But yeah, a lot of people really just look at like action and animation. Story and character
Mhm.
are secondary. That's why solo leveling pops off, because it looks really good to people who aren't invested in a story or characters.
Right.
Yeah, 9.31
That's
ranked
ranked
number
number
one.
one. Wow.
And then that
Now that is a little bit of fuckery, because Freerun fans have constantly put false upward pressure on
they-
that rating,
Right.
but it did organically surpass my Full Metal Alchemist.
Dun, dun, dun. So another one that's really good that doesn't seem to speed run things.
I love it.
The Apothecary Diaries.
Such a
season
good
2.
show.
Yeah, this would be the opposite, where they're just slow burning, kind of taking their time.
They are, and it's
Yes.
at times I could see people being not enjoying that, but I've come to really like value the characters. They've built enough with even the, secondary and third, like
Well,
characters where you understand and know who they are.
one of the good things about the Apothecary Diaries is even when it deviates, like the last episode, it's still really good. I really, really liked that last episode
Mhm.
because it had almost nothing to do with the story, but it was still fun and
Yeah.
felt like it fit in. It
Right.
didn't feel like a detour, because when it comes to the Apothecary Diaries, especially after the experience of the first season, all of these detours seem to like come together
circle,
right at the
yeah.
very end, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden like you're given this massive revelation of
Right.
what exactly was going on.
There was a line that says she kind of looks like someone from a certain angle, and I thought maybe it might be the girl who was the murderer in the first one that faked her death.
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's my theory. So fuck you, Crimson. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't trust the girl either way.
Mhm.
I think she's a plant of some kind, but
Mhm.
I don't think she is. I believe the character's name was Sweerin.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I don't believe she's that. I think that would be a little bit too bold of a move to try and pull off.
Let me ask you guys a question with this show. Is the apothecary somebody?
We already know she's related to one of the
She's
head
Mau.
strategist.
Okay.
She is the
Oh,
daughter
that's her
of
father, right? Yeah, I forgot that.
Lacan
Totally
and
forgot that. Yep.
one of the Verdigris House courtisans.
Totally blanked on that. I'm sorry.
And then her adopted father is actually her uncle, I believe.
Mhm.
Or
Who
her,
did that?
great
We find
uncle.
out did what surgery he did was it was a C-section, which made him it got him castrated.
Mhm.
That was I just really dig this show for many different reasons, but she as a main character, she's freaking hilarious.
She's great. She's very, very dynamic as a
Yes.
character, and very like a very good lead for the show.
Mhm.
I just as a like amateur writer myself who likes to mess around with fiction stuff, the like technical level that goes into all of like the mystery writing in this is
Mhm.
just impressive. And the way it all ties it together, does good characters, still has a sense of levity to it.
Yep.
All of it is a really, really good blend.
Mhm.
And of course, we can't forget season 1's first intro just being one of the best songs of the year.
Well, even this new intro is really good.
It is, but it's still not that first intro.
Well, we have the first intro in my intro.
Hey, Biggles, I got to get going, buddy.
All right, have fun, Sporking. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
being
guys.
here.
Thanks for
If you
hanging out,
haven't
man.
followed
I don't know. I had a
Sporking,
ball. Guys.
that
Sorry to
is
talk over
a
you so
mistake.
much. That's what I do.
Crimson, dude, if you knew me, that's fine because I talk over everybody. So don't worry about that. And you're more than welcome to join us on when we come back on Thursdays on my channel to talk anime, man.
All right.
In chat, of
Peace.
course, you're always invited. All
Go
right.
follow Sporking.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
So when they were all dying from the fire, is that carbon monoxide poisoning, or is that called something else when it's fire?
Well, it
Is
really
smoke
depends on
in-
the kind. It really
insulation?
depends on the kind of wood that they're using,
Okay.
because it could be something in the resin that turns toxic. And I'll just give you like this wouldn't be the case, but an example is there's a reason you don't burn treated lumber in a campfire.
Mhm.
It's because the treated lumber is treated with a copper arsenic mix, and if you inhale that, well, I mean arsenic.
That's the poison from the last episode, right?
Yeah,
Or-
so it's probably something to do with the fact that they had a material in the wood, like some sort of resin or whatever in that was emitting a toxic fume as it
Mhm.
burned.
All right, so I was trying to figure that out, but I think this last episode is going to reconnect somehow. What is? You know what? Maybe I'll have to rewatch that episode. Correcto bueno to burn that stuff. Okay. Why is he saying some Spanish and some English? What are you doing, sir?
Because
Sporking gave a $2 Shiba dog shaking his body from left to right, surrounded by red hearts, or as culture calls it, Shiba Ibu, or Shiba Inu farting hearts. There you go. Sorry. Wow, that was really hard.
bro struggled over a fucking dog.
The words. Yeah, I can't read. I can't speak. I'm lucky I can look at pictures. All right, so
You're like Aqua, you just can't.
Lord of the Rings is still the only book I've ever read that doesn't have pictures. All right, so every other book I've read has pictures. Just saying. I live in the South. It's a thing here to mix languages for effort. Sure.
Biggles, you do realize that English is like 5 languages mixed together, right?
I know it's Latin. Let's see, Latin,
Celtic, French.
Yeah, a whole bunch of languages. Fucking shit. English. That's why it's so fucking hard. What were we talking about? Yeah, so I think this episode did have a thing, but I'll have to rewatch this episode because I have to like relook at her face. She might be, maybe she's related to one of the courtesans. I don't know. We'll see. And that's why she's like, oh, she looks like that one. So maybe your plant idea is what she was hinting at. So that could be a thing. But let's talk about I'm getting married to a girl I hate in my class.
Mm-hmm.
This episode.
One that deserves to be rated higher than a 6.99.
Yes, it does.
Boom. Let's see if that helps. Damn. Okay. I tried. I tried to make it go to 7.
Well, let's put it this way. There are 101,000 votes on this series.
We need more. We need more.
You would have to have at least I don't know 1,000 accounts to shift that number by
All right,
0.01.
Let's get 1,000 accounts. Let's go. Who can help me make 1,000 accounts to go 10, just so we can get it to a 7?
And anyway,
great episode. Great episode.
The phone thing was one of my was good, but I really liked Saito walking all the way home just to be with Akane because she was lonely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love this show, damn it.
The phone thing was adorable. How she just starts texting like, "Hi,
Yeah.
what'd you have for dinner?" And he's like, "You made it."
And he's like, "Can we just talk normal? You're in the room." And that's my favorite part of the entire series. Oh my god, I love it. I love this show. It's so good.
I still haven't. I've avoided reading ahead because I started anime and I kind of want to just finish it.
They
But
just need to kiss already. Come on.
I'm still troubled by the friend. I still don't know which direction it's going because the way they've laid the groundwork, she could be secret villain or she could be secretly trying to push her friend's buttons to get her with him.
Finally admit it, yeah.
And I don't know which way they're actually going to go with it.
We'll find out. Maybe he gets a harem.
Well, clearly Shisei's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Poor Shisei. She got embarrassed, and they're like,
man, can I just say that the last year or so we've had so many epic maids in anime? Like even Shisei's like maid, like when she's just like virgin.
It's like, who doesn't want a maid and a
princess? And she's like, if it was with you and it was for her, I think we could have a good time. And he's just like, no, I won't do that. And she's just like,
She's like, "You
virgin,
virgin."
go to the other. No, and then the voice actress, no, I totally respect how you're treating me right now. Good for you.
It says it right there, Swigs. Like, you can't fucking read because everything's
Bro,
on your
okay.
phone.
Let me go off on a little bit of like an unrelated rant here.
Go for it.
Do you know how many times? Because I do like the little like bite-sized videos talking about seasonal anime now. Do you know how many times I say in the beginning of my video the name of the series that I'm talking about, and then I get comments from people asking me for the name of the anime?
Yeah.
Like what?
They don't watch the video, they see the thumbnail and then they comment. They're not smart enough to do any research. Like, watch the video. Yes, there is no dub right now, unfortunately.
I think he was talking about the title, but he clearly doesn't see the English version right below it.
He can't fucking read. He's retarded. Swigs is retarded.
Well, I knew anyone named Jeremy is going to be
No,
retarded.
his name is Yef.
Yef?
Yef.
My name's Yef.
My name is Yef. Yes, he's retarded. No, this is so good. Oh my, like.
I'm not convinced about your villain theory, Lil Chad. I feel like she genuinely has an interest in Saito, but she's willing to step aside if Akane actually is interested in the guy.
Oh, sorry. He's an above average retard. There you go. So, but no, like, so let's see. Maho is crazy. Shisei is crazy.
Shisei is crazy but funny.
Well, so is Maho. Maho is crazy and funny.
I think Shisei is funnier.
Well, yeah, she's the funniest of the series. Hamari is crazy, but actually really smart. So creepy. And then Akane is crazy because of her rivalry. She's like, no, now that he's not here, I can study and beat him. And then she's like all sad and was like, I miss you.
It's really interesting though that there are two characters in that list that I don't think we've seen anything of so far.
This girl, she's the girl they just showed at the end. She walked by them, I think.
That was in Okitsuda.
Oh. Son of a bitch.
Wait, wasn't she one of the girls in the class who was like, oh my God, you live together? Like, where they cut to that part?
Oh, maybe.
What's interesting with this show is if you watch Love is War. This show is basically Love is War if neither one of them admitted in their own internal monologue they actually liked the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting comparison.
But because you think about it, they're both the overachievers. They're both doing all these game theory level moves against one another. But they're not.
I don't really see it being interpreted that way, though. Most of it just seems like they genuinely care about the other, just aren't willing to admit it. They're both tsunderes.
Well, that's why I said it's like it's Love is War, but they don't actually admit to themselves they like the other person.
But in Love is War, there's a lot of they're trying to manipulate the other person into admitting it. In this, it doesn't really feel like that's happening.
No, the friend does it for them.
Yeah, she is clearly like the master manipulator level skill set.
So the part where Shisei takes Maho away, do you think Shisei found out that it was Akane and was trying to get it away so he doesn't? And they're like, we're going on a date, yay, date.
Shisei is super smart, and I think the only person who's so oblivious he doesn't realize it's not Akane is him. So,
I think he figures it out at the end.
Well,
he's still in denial. He
keeps saying to himself, "No, there's no way it could be her. She's too nice. Like she was this sweet girl, so it couldn't be Akane." Even though all the objective evidence is like, well, I guess Akane would have looked like her.
He doesn't want to believe it. He doesn't want to believe it. He's in denial. Yeah, good point.
In a lot of ways, it's a similar thing to Alya, where he's got the flashback to his little Russian friend from when he was an elementary schooler, and that's like kind of stuck in his mind for what he thinks love and friendship should be in that show. In this case, we've got him like obsessed about the girl he met as an elementary schooler at a party, and it's just funny. And of course, in both, they magically have a payoff where the character from that flashback sequence is still intimately involved in their life as now a high schooler. But this is a great show. I think the characters are funny. The character designs are kind of they are a little
They're
bit
cutesy.
generic but they give them enough nuance and difference that they stand out. Like like I've seen the she say type character like 100 times, but they still make her through the design and her mannerisms different enough to stand out. And Akane, with her, like quirkiness and always having the little cat pin on and doing, I mean, it's all, I like when they do stuff. And clearly her friend, is as about as prototypical a gal design as they usually get, but she still even stands out a little bit compared to that. So everybody is a standard trope character, and they still make it so they stand out and are unique, and we like them. And I think if you can take somebody who would just normally be like a trope and blend in, and they give them something that makes them stand out, that's always a like an indicator that the anime is doing good work.
So Crimson died, unfortunately.
The
Rest
internet
in
is
peace,
not
Crimson.
his internet hasn't been strong tonight.
Dude, unfortunately for Crimson, we were doing a investigation, which is like a mission in Monster Hunter, and he DC'd in the middle of it. I passed and succeeded in the investigation, and he failed because he ended up dying because of his internet. So it sucked. But another show that has Akane in it is this one. Akane is one of the heroes that are sent to the other Sidonia. Have you been watching this?
I have, because it's dubbed, so I can put it on in the background like pretty easily.
So we
This
haven't
one-
talked about this in like 5 weeks.
Yeah, because this one is how do I put this? This does fall into like generic isekai number 3 for a season kind of thing. They
Mhm.
are, it seems like in the last episode they've started doing things that are a little more
I hate
unique,
Interesting.
but it's more interesting. But you can't wait till like the 9th or 10th episode to do something interesting.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't a same day dub, there's no way in hell I would still be watching the show. But because
Yeah.
it's a same day dub, and I can put it on in the afternoon while I'm working some spreadsheets and have it just going, I've kept with it.
Yeah. So this last episode was interesting because the heroes of Sidonia came in and started shit because they wanted to take whatever the fucking elf girl's name is. What is her name? Sylvia? Sophia. They wanted to take Sophia, and he was like, "Nope, sorry, they're not for sale." And then he just fucking handles their heroes, and they all the heroes like draw their sword, and he's like, or someone goes, "You shouldn't do that or I wouldn't do that if I were you." And all the adventurers in the guild had their weapons drawn, and we're going to like fuck up the heroes, because they're fucking douchebags. And I thought that was probably like one of the best parts of this season or show. I think it's finally getting good, and it's what I think this is the 11th episode or something like that.
I think you can't wait to burn interesting plot to the to the season finale, right? It's And what happened is we didn't realize it, but we were in a prequel all along, where we were doing the like build up to when he finally
Well,
meet. And they said it at the beginning, you're going to go
like
back
episode
1
2,
year.
Yeah.
You're back 1 year before everyone else got summoned. And now we're actually getting the action because he's finally interacted with the other Japanese kids who got brought to this world.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, it's all just like, I'm super overpowered with a magic skill that seems underpowered, but I can
Mhm.
do whatever I want. I can make a giant TARDIS carriage that has an entire mansion inside of it.
Well, in his defense, he did train a lot harder than a lot of the other OP characters because he just kept doing it and like almost killing himself and just keep using magic potions till he got his magic strong enough to how he wanted it. So there was like a little training montage that kind of looked like he was dying in like one of the episodes because he just kept like using all his mana and then taking a potion. But you know what also has a dub and waited 11 episodes to go really, really good?
Yeah, I was about to mention this, the fact that if we're talking about series that waited until episode 11 to really pop off, Zenshu is the first one I would think of.
11 is the first episode I actually gave a shit about the characters. And I know you guys kind of like the characters in this. I kind of liked it because it looked cool. But
They're
like
not
I didn't give a shit.
they're really not the best characters, but they're good enough to keep you invested in the story for me.
Mhm.
It's really this latest episode that made me like a couple of them, like Luke and well, actually pretty much the whole cast.
Yumi, yeah, I like. This is when I started liking the characters.
But
I liked Yumio.
particularly Yunio and Natsuko in this episode, really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, so I didn't really give a flying fuck about the characters until episode 11. And it was actually emotional. Like they actually did it really well. And I have to say after 11 episodes, it's finally getting good to where like I don't if this wasn't a dub before episode 11, I would have stopped watching this. That's just how it was, and I like it. But anything else you guys want to say about this?
Overall, a very good experience, and one that I think will probably end up moving up quite a bit for me because, well, I've liked the animation. It's looked good. It's been a fun, enjoyable series up to this point, so not horrible. I would say it's definitely an interesting series. This latest episode, though, really gives that like slow burn vibe where they did a lot of things up to this that kind of pay off in this most recent episode. But that's waiting until the final hour to really like cement everything just doesn't work all that well for it because its draw was really just kind of okay at best. It was an entertaining show. There wasn't anything there that really had me terribly invested in it. Now I'm like, all right, well, things
Now I
just
gotta
got
finish.
really, really interesting.
Now
Yeah.
I gotta finish. Yeah. Little Chad, anything?
I just think it's almost it's weird to compare this show to the Alchemist one since we but since we were just
Well, this is much better, but
I
it did
I
the
know
same
this
thing. It did the
because
same
this is
thing.
much better, but they're doing the same. You can't don't sit on your plot for like an entire season and expect people to stick around, right? They had an interesting premise that was sold at least from the very initial trailers sold that was a bait and switch, right? You
Mhm.
thought you were getting a workplace anime production drama and you got a isekai,
Mhm.
and then you turn around and then you slow roll the whole thing. And it's not like with ReZero where you're getting amazing world building, or Mushoku Tensei where you're getting world building even on the episodes where people would consider it quote unquote filler. It's like Crimson said, it's not up to that level. So I think you're right. I kind of petered out on this one, and because it was just taking forever and I didn't feel like I was like, I'll wait and maybe I'll watch it as a binge once it's done. It's again, I hate comparing it to some other shows that are definitely far inferior, but it's like Headhunter. I was like, okay, there's a dub, it's coming. I'll wait until I'm in between seasons and I'll probably just power through this one once the whole season's done because I bet it'll watch better as a binge than as a week
Oh,
to week.
I automatically I would 100% agree with that because I feel like when you watch Headhunter, it would be way better as a binge. Even though I really like Headhunter, because I like more of those like business type kind of things. Like one of the reasons why I like Rebuilt the Hero or Realistic Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom is because it's like economics, and I so it's like subject matter that I like. So I really like that stuff.
Yeah, well,
I think this show is
um,
going to end up being like about a couple points higher as a binge than you would ever rate it as an individual, like
Mhm.
week to week.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will say though, I got into a little bit of a back and forth with one of the anime accounts out there because they had this above Shangri-La Frontier, which I highly disagree with.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Why?
I highly disagree with that. They said Shangri-La Frontier is mid. That's why.
Who the who is who? All right,
Why?
who is this person? You can come on. You can
The
like
account is called Anime Culture.
okay. There's no way Shangri-La Frontier is mid compared to
They did
anything.
let me go through my notifications, see if I can pull this up really quick to look at their list again because I was talking quite a bit with people today on Twitter. Where
Yeah,
the
Shangri-La Frontier is awesome. Like, I know the boat. Maybe if they're just they've only seen the boat episode where it had like some clunky animation, but like it's solid. Like I watched it and I was like, "Yep, I have to watch every episode now." And now I'm fucking stuck on week to week. And I wanted to wait till it was all out so I could watch both of them. But you guys bullied me into that, and you're like, "No, you can't wait
looks like
anymore."
I gotta go to my account because I reposted it saying that it was criminal to have oh,
Sent you.
this post is unavailable. What?
He deleted
Oh,
it.
they deleted it.
It's
Oh,
been deleted.
Deleted.
you big bully Crimson.
You
You
bullied him
brigaded
the
him off
fuck
the
out.
internet.
Way to go, Crimson. So this
No,
is why.
honestly, if this guy was saying that Shangri-La Frontier was mid, yes, way to go, Crimson. That was a good thing you did for
Our
the
exchange
world.
was literally I retweeted it saying Zenshu in SS and Shangri-La in B is criminal. And he responded, Shangri-La is mid. I said, not taking this crap from someone who puts Zenshu at the top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's not even that good. It just
Crimson,
looks
nothing
pretty.
you said was not factually accurate in any way.
Of course, I then went and posted my own current tier list because I had forgotten to do that yesterday.
Da, da, da. All right, so one I'm almost caught up to where we ended up watching or talking about last time when we talked about this show because I switched to dub on this, and I can tell you I understand the show a lot better now that it's dubbed, and I don't have to like I can pick stuff up and see little visuals, and yeah, so
Dude, at this rate, the dub will probably be finished before the sub.
oh, why,
With the
what
number
happened?
of like delayed episodes that this show has had. But have either of you seen the like last two episodes? I think that would be 8 and 9 with
No.
the little
Just
kid.
the Angels one, right? The Angels arc.
Yeah, the
Oh,
angels. That hurt. Like Grave of the Fireflies kind of hurt.
Da, da, da. Yeah, I haven't got there yet. But
Look, it gives the series some very direly needed character work.
well, good.
mhm.
It's cute anime girl house. That's right.
Who's less of a sociopath, just slightly.
And this one I haven't caught up. I'm still on the episode right before the dragon. I feel bad for not going, so I haven't got to enjoy the dragon yet.
The only thing I don't know, as far as Dragon Waifu in this one goes, like I find her funny because she is an absolute loser when it comes to like her personal life. But in this show, I've been kind of disappointed with the fantasy element. Like it's better as a slice of life series.
Yeah,
And
the
it should just stay in
Japanese
Japan.
segments are 10 times better than any of the like fantasy stuff. I mean, they're trying to weave some kind of world building with these magic stones and the little cat kid who can enhance them or channel them or whatever. And none of it stick, but the stuff where they're in Japan and she's doing
Those
stuff
are
in
the parts you
Japan,
remember.
that's the good stuff. Like, and then when they get Dragon Mama into Japan and she gets, and they're doing the hot springs and they're doing all the driving in the car, and she's giving Elf Girl advice on making the moves on her not boyfriend that she lives with. I mean, those segments are the ones that I look forward to. I almost fast forward through the fantasy segments just to get back to when they're in Japan again. Like
I wouldn't blame you.
yeah, you don't get like in the combat. It'd be one thing if you got good combat scenes, but the combat scenes are ass. Like they're
They
just
are.
they're terrible.
It's one of those things where like they had this huge dramatic battle against what was the guy's name? Sven.
Yeah, the guy who has
That
like
mage.
Oakley sunglasses in the fantasy world while he's fighting.
Yeah, that was an awful little bit of story. I don't like the fantasy thing. You know, I said in my review basically that it wants to split itself between
What the fuck? What the fuck? My phone is like playing something.
Did you just watch some NFL highlights? You got sports radio coming through?
I don't have anything open, but something started talking about NFL on my phone.
Do you I do know that if you had YouTube like on a live segment and like and something finally ended as a live stream,
I didn't have anything on YouTube.
It might have gone to autoplay like the next thing. But I don't know. That was a weird interruption.
Yeah,
I don't know what fucking happened.
Yeah,
welcome to Japan. Miss Elf wants to split itself between two things. It wants to be the action adventure and then the slice of life romance, and only one of them really works well with the way the series has been animated. And I am much more interested in watching Mirabelle discover Japan than I am in any of the fantasy shenanigans. Outside of the fact that Rydra the dragon is a total loser when it comes to anything that's outside the combat. She is pathetic.
All right. And I think I have let's because we only talked about this for like 2 seconds and then everybody got sidetracked and started talking about random shit. So Dad's been reincarnated. We get the episode where they go to Anna's village where she's from. Grace meets the mom. And there are hidden hints of world building throughout this episode. I heard you guys say it earlier that you think Anna's mom might have been a noble because of how her mannerisms were. And Grace mentioned something to it. So we'll see how that pans out.
Well, it was also the mom when Grace said it, like got super uncomfortable and immediately changed the subject. Like it was like one of those things where clearly she hit the nail on the head and the mom wanted to move. Like, nope, let's not talk about it. Let's talk about something else. Talk about anything else. Not this at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
That part was interesting, but I think the funnier part is that it seems like what?
The saving the cat?
No, the more interesting part to me is the fact that Grace's mother might be just as unhinged as everyone else with the cross-dressing rule.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see.
Grace's mom is some kind of like looming overarching threat the way they keep like only showing her in shadow and only alluding to her and what I'm thinking is they're going to make it this big ominous thing and then she's going to turn out to be like a daughter obsessed like mom like some of these other shows have where I mean we got the flashback to when the maid first offered to do her hair and I think it's gonna. I think she's gonna be closer to like Harari in
Hahari.
as a mom, and where she's just obsessed with her daughter or something like that. I think that might be where because that would be a good comedic flow with the dad in the body, like reincarnated, like this woman is unhinged, like, but she's the one.
That would be
we'll see.
honestly, that would fit the theme, and it kind of sounds like we've hit the nail on the head with the way Biggles is responding.
Well, nah, I can't say it. But when you do meet the mom, you're going to be like, "What the fuck? I did not see that coming." So we get to we're about to meet my favorite character.
But do we just and you can just like kind of give a nod? Do we find out that Anna is somehow like Grace's cousin because her mom was a secret noble? Is that like going to be? I feel like somehow they're going to end up being related.
Yeah, I think they are cousins, but it might be different. You'll see.
Sister cousins.
Unless the mom is living a secret life as the baker, and they're actually sisters.
Well, no, there's more to it. You got to watch the festival, okay?
Oh shit! I just like.
You gotta watch it, okay? It makes sense. Everything makes sense, okay? The mom makes perfect sense as soon as the festival is over. But we're about to meet one of my favorite characters. She is just like some crazy theater girl, and she's about to help them with the play. She's only in like one episode, so she's my favorite. She's fucking nuts. She's going to be a good time. But yeah, so I like how they're like, Lucas, you got to go figure this out. And they're like, oh, we already know. My dad told me. And like, we got all the backstory. And he's like, oh, okay. And then, so this play the festival is going to be very important. It has lore. It
better live up to the fucking hype.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good. I've been waiting for this the whole time. But because fucking little Chad ruined the best fucking part.
I'm sorry that me and Crimson can, like noodle our way into this stuff from watching and reading so much anime.
Like, which trope makes Biggles react the most violently?
But this is fucking amazing. I love this show so much. Number one,
it's one of those things. So like with this show, it's like I know there are shows that might have better animation, like Solo Leveling as a whole mostly has better, clearly has better fight sequence. Like, but this show is just like your absolute number one comfort show for the season. There's no show that is just a happier, pleasant time to watch. Maybe 100 Girlfriends makes me is just like, oh, it's just hilarious. It's just nice to watch and funny. But this one is more wholesome. I can watch this one when my son's awake. Like instead of like, whereas 100 Girlfriends, I'm like, no, I need to make sure you're nowhere near
because of the mom. Yes.
Yeah. But with this one, it's like, it's family safe. It's well done. That's what kind of like makes it I agree with you, Biggles. It might end up being my number one just because it checks so many boxes. And even though some of the boxes might be lower ranked than some other ones individually, as a whole, it definitely checks way more boxes for being a good show that I'll watch every week. I know that every Thursday I'm waiting for the drop, to click that thing and watch it. So I think it's if it's not number one, it's it's in the number 2 spot.
Now, what I said earlier might not be true because the character designs were so close that I might have mistaken it for a character. So we'll see. But you did hit the cousin But yeah, I love this show. Oh, so we know how I love Otome games, right? Or not the games themselves, but the anime is based on the games, right? So
Mhm.
I found this manga, right? And it said it was an Otome game one, right? And it kind of sounded like Trap in the Dating Sim, where it was the brother who got reincarnated in his sister's game, right?
Mhm.
Well, uh, the very first page of the manga, there was nothing but titties, and
What's
there
the
was
name?
no, there was
So
no,
I need to know the name so I can avoid it. Okay.
What's the
for
official internet
research
parlance? Sauce, please.
sauce. Let's see.
Where's the sauce?
I'm trying to find it.
Sorry if I pull
Um,
your guys' ears out.
continue. Okay. It seems I was reincarnated. Oh, wait, hold on. It seems I was reincarnated into a world of school otome game, but I was a background male student with cheats. Now, I thought this was going to be okay because it doesn't say uh, Iche. And the very first page is full of titties. And one of the first comments says, "Is this worth reading?" Nope. No. And then one person's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And then they're like, "No." And then they're like, "Truck Coon is on a spree, killing everyone. Let's go." And right off the rip, it's like, yeah, he doesn't even go for the main character in the Otome game. He just sleeps with and everybody else in the game world. And I was like, okay, this doesn't sound like something that lovable Otome game that I like. So I have dropped it from my manga list. But if you guys want, it's titties on the very first page. And this is way better. This show is way better. So go ahead and watch this instead of reading that. And then Princess Lessons. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes.
Oh man, the last 2 episodes. This is another one where the good stuff comes like after the halfway point.
All right, I gotta watch these.
I won't say too much,
Yeah.
but a lot of my big issue with this series gets resolved in the last 2 episodes. And this latest episode, the one that came out yesterday, I liked because it was just funny, like genuinely funny.
Okay, so it went back to the comedy aspect rather than the depressing shit.
Well, it's definitely not depressing anymore. There was development and growth. We had her get some flashbacks where she
Was happy.
remembered some basically we got to view what we saw in the first episode when she got brought as a child, and
Mhm.
she's starting to basically relitigate in her own mind all of the things she saw from Prince Clark
Mhm.
and what he's been like as her companion and friend since childhood, which in turn brought her, I think, to the realization that she was ready to kind of move forward.
And then this latest episode is basically a parable on why you don't spread rumors.
Yeah, the old telephone game um, is illustrated right perfectly. Because you 15 minutes of the episode is all this stuff escalating until someone finally goes, "Who heard what, and from whom?" And then we get back to the final where the person's like, "Well, this is exactly what I heard." And then they go to the source and they're like, "You completely misunderstood. You left before the rest of the context. Here's what was happening." And it's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm good now." So,
But we do get the well, there's no more escaping now.
yeah, the payoff comes,
Dun,
which
dun,
is
dun.
funny because clearly we've got at least one more episode left, and
Are they going to give us like a
flash forward. You think?
send off sort of episode?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get the like living in the country, kind of. The only question with this show I get is,
I don't think they're going to do the living in the country thing.
are we going to get the like 10 years later flash forward that we usually get for some of these when it's a one and done?
I feel like if they do that for the entire final episode, I'd like that. It would be a satisfying ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a nice like easygoing show. So I don't
It
mind
really
at all.
struggled with selling Clark as a romantic interest, if you ask me. It really felt a lot like a Stockholm romance up until we actually got like Letty changing her mind on that.
When she started
Closer
to
to
actually
like
like him.
75% of the way through the series, yeah.
So, is it worth the 5.3 or should it be what I put as a 10 as a masterpiece? I'm actually going to move
I
it
would
to a
say it's like a high 6, low 7, to be honest.
Yeah, it's and not higher than that. I think. I mean, I
Five.
suppose the last episode could get it to be maybe solid 7 if the payoff is really there. But
Mhm.
I don't think anything about it deserves to be really more than a 7.
This is kind of the issue you were describing with Zenshu, where you're like sold one thing and given another.
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way about this, where basically the first episode sells you on, oh, this is going to be like this fun comedy of just like antics and stuff, while Clark
After being
randomly,
super directed or depressing.
I would
yeah,
say
where,
even the
where,
second episode keeps that pattern up too.
and then it goes right back to like the depressing stuff that like kind of like drags you down. Like I thought we weren't going to do this. I thought the whole point was like, oh, and it sort of remains in that spot until like I don't know, episode 8.
Mhm.
And
Was
then it
that when
starts to
we
get
got the
better.
part where they ran all? Is it was around episode 8 when we got the introduction of the maids, uh, kingdom of the prince that was obsessed with her maid.
I think that was 6. 8 was the one where I believe Clark and Letty basically go out together, like on a
Oh,
like
in the
date
town,
per
and
se.
that's when
Yeah.
they meet the duke. Oh no,
No,
that was
that would
after
have
that.
been the episode
It-
before where her
yeah.
and the chick in the purple dress stalk the Duke and Clark.
Yep.
The Duke who you thought was the queen.
I'm sorry that I mean it's not like they didn't lead us into clearly.
My favorite clip is still him waking up during the haunted house episode. Just a
And yeah, it's I will say the chick in the purple turned out to be more of a good ride or die friend than I ever expected.
Sorry, that was my phone ringing.
Okay, me with my internet connection, you with your phone today. What the heck?
Dude, I don't know. It's going crazy. But I'm going to fucking mute it because otherwise it will be fucked. Okay, let's see. But
This
go
is one that I think. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I think could have been better. I wish it would have better. It's a series that I think is like bad, but I enjoy it. Simply because of the Clark stuff makes it really, really hard to like Clark for half the series.
He does actually I'll say that the most well-rounded and likable male in the show is probably her brother.
yeah, but there was that one episode where Crimson hates him.
I was about to say there's that one episode that made him seem like a real asshole.
Yeah. I did
But
like that
now
they
that everything's all
telegraphed.
like settled, I don't really have a problem with any of the characters. Like they've gotten through that, they've worked out the kinks, but it feels like it really struggled to find what it was wanting to do.
Sorry, I'm trying to find something. And it's a Crimson thing.
Is it like
Yeah, smacking it. I'm trying to find a Crimson tweet. It's good. I need it. I need it in here. I just got to find it. Talk. Someone say something about something. Go. I'll find it.
I was waiting for more clickety clack from the keyboard. But
Clickety clack clack, don't clack back. Okay, they're supposed to be lighter switches. Okay, but they're not. All right. So Crimson, do you remember tweeting about? Oh, I found it. I found it. Ready. Boom. Okay, so we got Crimson. I know someone who would be into something like this. Was this about me? Wait, are you muted? I think you accidentally muted your mic.
I've been talking this whole time. I literally said, "Oh, I just did a
I've
bunch
been
of shit to my
talking this whole
computer.
time.
I just did a bunch of shit to my computer, and I don't know what happened." Well, now I know what happened. I muted myself. Yes, this was about you.
So
You were the first person to pop into mind.
we're ecstatic to announce how I swapped places with the villainess, beat up her fiance, and found true love, an isekai romantic comedy series about a villainess who isn't afraid to kick butt and take fate into her own hands for fans of a strong heroine.
Ooh, I think I liked that tweet because I thought it was about you too.
I was like, is this about me?
There was another person who follows me and who I follow who saw that and thought it was about them.
Well, I'm sold. It's me. Should I just comment and be like, no, it's me? Well, I'm sold. And then I retweeted it and said it's about me. I was like, no, this is definitely me because it's an Otome game. It's a villainous. Or no, it might not be an Otome game, but it's a villainous. And it just screams me.
Yeah.
And that's
anything else to really comment on? I don't really think I have anything in here that you guys have watched. I mean, I don't think either of you are watching Tying the Knot with an Amagami Sister, Honey Lemon Soda, Orb. Yeah, I watched a lot of shit this season.
Honey Lemon Soda is a like my wife. That's her favorite one this season. Like
It's surprisingly good, actually.
yeah,
Like I genuinely think it's a good series, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I do.
It reminded me a lot. She also watched a couple seasons back Skip and Loafer, and it seemed like Skip and Loafer, but with more romance elements, obviously, than that one did. But it's kind of got that, as the young kids say, it's got that vibe. That's the vibe that it has going for it.
Man, those young kids don't make any sense to me.
No,
Those darn youngins.
Those damn young kids and their internet phrases. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, I watched a show with my mother that my sister said to watch, and it had Kate Hudson in it, so it's not anime. And there was like a character who was speaking in like all Gen Z terms, and I was like, what the fuck are they saying? And like
is that the one where she's like the basketball owner?
Yeah.
It's like basically the Genie Bus story.
Yeah, and like the girls are just they're the ones that just sleep with the players, right? So they're like, yeah, I just did this, no cap. And I was like, what the fuck are they even saying? Like, I was so confused. I was like, I need a translator.
No cap means not faking. No lie.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck those retards. All right. So that's it. I think we got anything else?
I think we covered everything pretty extensively, except for why you're not caught up on ReZero yet.
Because you know why I only watched the.
I know, but I think sometimes you've got to make adjustments.
No, I made an adjustment for fucking solo leveling, and I did it for Apothecary Diaries. I have to stand strong on ReZero because I literally know most of that cast. I know Reinhardt. I know Subaru. I know Rem. I know Rom. I know Garfield. I know who else do I know?
Sorry, I was reading the current retardation on that Texas law. What's going on here?
Who is what's the name of the guy who kind of looks like a clown? The head of the mansion? Roswald. I know Roswald. I know.
There's no D in Roswald.
Whatever. I can't fucking read names. That's why I need the English one. And then I know Otto, who fangirls over Krista, which is really funny. Who else do I know? So I know like most of the English cast, and like some of them I've met multiple times. Like Reinhardt, I've met like 3 or 4 times. Rom, I've met like 3 or 4 times. So I have to stick with it because they're the ones who got me into it. So I'm going to watch it and only watch them. But yeah, so that is everything, you guys. Thank you all for being here. We have to show this because I feel like this is always needed before we do our outro, just because I love it. So goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. And you guys get some Goblin Slayer.
Like hell we're gonna believe that. A goblin lord? My ass. You're just a damn goblin. Just a disgusting little goblin. And me...
Crimson Set is just for the plot, but we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And in the trumpet, me beside it, that you look back. Watashi tachi wa sorera wasureteru sekishimasu. It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting all the shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown.